Well, hello again. For those I haven't met, I am Solène Souquet, the marketing manager at FranceAX. So I will give you an overview of the marketing and sales part of FranceAX. But before that, I would like to thank the sponsors of the event. So thank you, Google, for hosting the meeting. Thank you, Arista and iXreach for also being sponsors. And thank you for being so many today. It's really nice to see the attendance growing each year at the meeting. So first, a little bit of history. I'm sure you all know about it, but I will go through four main dates. So if you remember, back in 2009, there was a work group which ran a survey with a simple questions. So we'll see a very simple question. It was, would you like a federative IXP? Just one IXP in France that will gather as many peers as possible. And most of the response were, yes, we want that. So in June 2010, FranceAX was born, and we have a specific organization. We have a dual organization with an association, a non-profit one, which own completely a commercial company, and we are employees of the commercial company. So each year the benefits will be reinvested, or we can decrease the pricing. It's up to the members, because each member has an equal vote, no matter what is the traffic it exchanged on the IX. Then another milestone, February 2013, we connected our 200th customer on the IX, so it's pretty nice after just 3 years. And in just last month, we recruited our 7th employee, so the team is building up, and it's also nice. What about our value? I identified 3 core values of FranceAX. First of all, neutrality. I was talking about each member having an equal vote, but it's also neutrality among the way we run the IX. We are not an operator, we are not a data center, we are just an IX. So business is to interconnect peers. And also, our network is spread out among many data centers, among them carrier-neutral ones, like Interaction. We have also Telehouse, Telecity, Iliad, SFR, and I think I don't miss any. And then we have a strong sense of community, because the IX was born for you, and we try to gather you every year. It's mandatory. And also during other events, or we go meet you during FRNOGs, NANOGs, and so on. And then, despite the technical issues we had this summer, we are professional. I can assure you that. And this is why you pay for the port, because behind that you have a real company dealing with your connection, with fixing the issues if you have ones, and so on. Now let's go through some statistics. So last year we had a growth rate of 38%. It has slowed down since the 2 previous years, but we expected that, and we are still quite satisfied with this number. It means that now we have to really go outside, make yourself known, and not just sit and receive requests. And our IXP it's getting more and more international. We used to have 80% of the membership being French, meaning being based in France. And now we have 70% of French-based companies and 30% of members coming from abroad. And I would like to point out that the countries of origins are more and more diversified. Last year we had 11 countries represented among the membership, and now we have almost the double. So we know that the growth will be there, will be outside the borders. Now about the ports and the traffic. As you will see on this graphic, half of the ports are below 100 megabits, which explains why we went up to 200 gigabits of overall traffic, and then we went down. So we have a lot of peers connected to France-AX, but many of them are still below 100 megabits. Because it is free and because they don't need more. But the good thing is that last year, 10% of the members did upgrade on the AX. So my job next year is to make at least 20% upgrading. That's my goal. The reseller program. So we launched the reseller program in March 2012. And since then, we put a lot of effort in recruiting and training the resellers. So right now, we have 7 official ones. IXReach, CCOM, not CCOM, sorry, IXReach, Phoebe, Viatel, and Yazo, and Neo Telecoms are here today. So if you want to exchange on this program, do not hesitate to talk to them during breaks. We strongly believe in this program because, as I was saying, the growth is outside the borders now. And we did connect a lot of members coming from very far away, like Thailand, South Korea, India, and so on. And we see an increasing peering trend of remote peering. So we do rely on resellers to promote France-AX and connect more and more members, especially ones which will not connect to France-AX in the first place by their own means. So they really ease the process, and there are ambassadors and the sales force that we don't have internally. A quick update on Marseille. Marseille was launched in 2011-2012. And since then, we have 4 members connected. But we did receive a dozen of requests to connect there. It's just that people wait for each other to connect first. So what it takes is a few members more to connect, and then we will enter a critical mass. I was talking about the resellers. We signed a CCOM, which will take a 10 gig port in Marseille, not in Paris. And they will connect very soon African operators. So you will be aware of that very soon. And once they will connect the African operators, we are sure that many peers will join in Marseille, especially content delivery network, because African operators need to exchange French-speaking and English-speaking content that they will find on France-AX. In the meantime, of course, the special offer is still valid. So until we reach 12 members and a 10 gig overall traffic, there is no recurring fees, only installation ones. How do we recruit the members? So the most important part is going to meetings, a mix of technical meetings and commercial ones. So you will see all the NOGs, FRNOG, NANOG, MENOG, which is the Middle East Network Operator Group. Then European Peering Forum. Well, we are not accepted to the GPF, but at least we go to EPF each year. And you will see that we emphasize Africa last year. We went to 3 main IT events in Africa. Capacity Africa, which is more commercial. This is where we recruited CCOM in the first place. And then AFRINIC, AFNOG, and AFPIF, which are more technical. And we sponsored 4 events last year. Also, we are widely communicating on the website, on social networks where you are, on mailing lists, through newsletters, press release, PR actions like breakfast and so on, and through videos. So do not hesitate to register to our YouTube channel. I'm not promoting Google, but I would like you to keep having the videos. And then Twitter. So sometimes communicating on social networks can backfire. Here are a few funny tweets, well-deserved. And then we launched the new website. So we have a new responsive layout. So you can go and you can go on the website on your phones, on your tablets. The layout will respond to the size. If you haven't seen the website, please flash the code and visit it. Do you like it so far? Yes? Good. Now for the roadmap, Frank was talking a little bit about the price. We decided to decrease the 10 gig port recurring fees because we used to be more expensive compared to other international places of peering. And so when they decided to decrease their own pricing, well, the gap became wider. And we don't want you to stop sessions or shutting down sessions, not answering to requests, because it's too expensive. So we decreased the 10 gig port from 1,900 to 1,500 euros. That's for the first connection. Then if you take another 10 full gig, the second port will be 1,400, and so on until the fourth one. Then the fifth one will be at the price of 1,200. We won't go below. And we also decreased the pricing in Marseille because there was already 20% difference between the Paris pricing and the Marseille pricing. Marseille is cheaper because we think for you to connect there, you will have additional cost, whether it's through carriers, through hosting, and so on. So we don't want you to be burdened. And so you may think, well, I'm not concerned. I only have 100 megabits or 200. That would be fair. But I think by decreasing the 10 gig, the big ones on IX will increase their traffic, and they will increase their traffic with you. So overall, there will be a very positive effect on the traffic of every member. And the other actions, we plan to be more aggressive in recruiting members this year. We will go to more meetings because now we are numerous in the team, so we can allow to travel and have people in the office to take care of the requests. And we will continue to do some leads generating actions like lotteries. It can be white papers. So basically having leads. And we will challenge the resellers because now we have 7 official resellers. I think we will have more by beginning of 2014. And we will just challenge them and reward them upon monthly connections. So we will boost the connections. And then we will keep on increasing the recognition of France IX abroad. So far, we did communicate in France and abroad, but next year we will really communicate abroad also, on the same basis as in France. And sponsoring, as I was saying, we sponsored 4 events. We don't necessarily intend to sponsor more events, but at least be constant in the ones we do sponsor. Because it's one thing to get known by the peers, but you have to stick in their mind, and finally when they decide to connect to an IX, France IX will come to their mind. The new services, I will not talk about it because Frank went through it. I would just like to tell you that we would appreciate your feedback. We did not do any survey last year. I'm not sure we will do one next year, but we appreciate any informal or formal feedback from you. And if I had one last thing to say, I won't say it. So yeah, my job is for you to upgrade next year. So let me upgrade your connections, please. Otherwise, I won't get paid at the end of the month. So now we would welcome the question. You can go to the mics at the end, on the back of the room, and Frank and I will answer them.
Hi, Walt from Amazon, and we're happy to announce that we'll be launching in Marseille in about a month. Thanks.
Good. One more.
I just wanted to add something for Marseille. Also, the reason why Marseille is cheapest, even if today we don't charge anything till we have the critical mass there, we decided after a long discussion with the board not to provide the capacity between Paris and Marseille. We have 2 times 1 gig between the 2 cities, but if only for very small members that may want to peer from Marseille to Paris or vice versa. But for instance, big guys like Amazon, they need much more capacity than only a small bandwidth between the 2 cities. So there is no point for us to provide a gateway between the 2 cities. So the gateway we have between Paris and Marseille is only for small members, and it's only up to 100 meg. And this is the same rule for all the interconnection we have also with the partnership for other internet exchange. So this is the same for the interconnection between FranceX and TopX, FranceX and LocX, and so on. Because in fact we are not operator, and we do not want and we will not compete operators. This is one of the rules you should keep in mind where you are running an exchange. Do not compete your own member. Otherwise, you run into trouble. And of course, we receive requests from members saying, okay, but we would like to connect in Marseille with a lot of capacity. I wouldn't mention who asked for that, but they wanted 30 gig in Marseille. This is very big operator, foreign operator. And they say, okay, we want to have 30 gig in Marseille, and please provide us some kind of either free or almost free capacity to Paris. Come on, guys. You know the price for 30 gig between Paris and Marseille? This is more expensive than the price you will pay for your 10 gig port in Marseille. So please do not ask us to do that. This is not our rule. This is not our job. There are operators to do that. This is the job of an operator. So we will be happy to send you some of our resellers. I will provide you with the remote link plus the virtual or physical port to FranceX. And that's it. And this is a very important point for us. And we will not change that rule because we want to keep independent. We are not an operator.
No questions?
I have a question. I'm an operator who has a presence in Paris and in Toulouse with the partnership with Twix. And when we asked to upgrade our capacity by taking a second port in Toulouse, up to now we were denied our requests. So what is the FranceX policy on that?
I'm not sure to get your point. Is it to have 2 IPs?
Yeah.
In fact, this is not a technical issue. It's just that when we run partnership with other internet exchange, we want to keep as simple as possible. And even if you were connected anyway directly to FranceX, except if you ask for a backup port, you won't get 2 IPs. So I don't have in mind if it was 2 IP for 1 port or two ports.
It's we have 1 port in Telehouse 2.
Yeah.
And we just want a second port with a second IP in Toulouse.
I think we need to discuss that further on during the break because I don't have in mind the context. But my point is that there are some points you will not be allowed to do when you are connected through a partner internet exchange. We only provide IPv4 unicast, for instance. Meanwhile, or IPv6, of course, but only unicast. But for instance, if you want to have private VLANs, you won't get that. You will get the basic service. Yep. And this is the idea. If you want more, at what point you have to be connected on the appropriate exchange, may it be Twix or FranceX. And it's the same for our members. If they want a lot of capacity to Twix, I tell them you have to be on Twix. And of course, keep your port on FranceX, but it works on both sides.
Yeah. So we'll discuss that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you. I will now